when a 17-year-old defeated Magnus Carlsen. The world chess champion, Magnus Carlsen, was defeated by a 17-year-old in a stunning upset. The game was played in the 2019 World Rapid Championship in Moscow, and the young challenger was none other than Alireza Firouzja, who is now one of the top players in the world. But back then, he was still relatively unknown, and had just switched federations from Iran to France. He faced Carlsen in the 12th round of the tournament, and both players were fighting for the lead. Carlsen had 8.5 points of 11, while Firouzja had 8 points. So this was a crucial game for both of them. How it unfolded. Let's see how he did it. So Carlsen had the white pieces and Firouzja had the black. They played a Spanish opening called Ruy Lopez, and both moved their pieces to the center. Carlsen played h4, which is a very brave move. He wanted to attack Firouzja's king. Firouzja reacted calmly and played ex d4. He doesn't mind giving up a pawn to open up the center and activate his pieces. Carlsen took with cx d4 and Firouzja played c5. This is a very strong move that undermines white's center and creates a lot of pressure on the d4 pawn. Carlsen played d5, which is probably not the best move. He should have played dx c5 or be3 to defend the pawn. But he wanted to keep the tension and block the black bishop on b7. Firouzja played h5. This is another excellent move that stops white's pawn advance and creates some counterplay on the king side. Carlsen played bg5, which looks natural but is actually a mistake. He should have played bf4 or bg3 to keep an eye on the e5 square. Firouzja seized the opportunity and played qb6. This is a very powerful move that attacks the b2 pawn and also prepares to invade on e5 or f2. Carlsen realized his mistake and tried to defend with a qd2, but Firouzja was not impressed and played ng4. This is a brilliant move that sacrifices a knight for 2 pawns and a devastating attack. Carlsen had no choice but to take with nx g4. Firouzja took back with xh g4, and now white is in big trouble. His king is exposed, his bishop is pinned, his b2 pawn is hanging, and his h-pawn is weak. Carlsen tried to save his bishop with bd1, but Firouzja simply took on b2 with qx b2. He doesn't care about losing his rook on e8 because he has more than enough compensation. Carlsen took with qx b2 and Firouzja played bx b2. Now black has 3 pawns for the exchange and a huge initiative. Carlsen played rb1 to attack the bishop, but Firouzja calmly retreated with bg7. He doesn't mind giving up another pawn on b5 because he has bigger plans. Carlsen took with rx b5, and Firouzja played bx d5. This is another amazing move that sacrifices another piece for 2 more pawns and a decisive attack. Carlsen had no choice but to take with ex d5, and Firouzja played rx e1. He forces white to exchange rooks and leaves him with a hopeless endgame. Firouzja's dominant position and winning moves. Carlsen took with kh2, and Firouzja played be5+. He checks the white king and wins back his piece. Carlsen moved his king to g1, and Firouzja took the knight with bx g3. Now black has 4 pawns for the exchange and a completely winning position. Carlsen tried to create some counterplay with fx g3, but Firouzja played ne5. He blocks the f-file and threatens to push his passed pawns. Carlsen played ba4, but Firouzja played c4. He advances his c-pawn and creates a dangerous passed pawn. Carlsen played rb6, but Firouzja played c3. He pushes his pawn closer to the queen square. Carlsen's resignation. Now Carlsen played bb3, but Firouzja played rc8. He brings his rook to the open file and supports his pawn. Carlsen played bc2, but Firouzja played nc4. He attacks the rook and prepares to play ne3. Carlsen moved his rook to a6, but Firouzja played ne3. He forks the king and the bishop and wins another piece. Carlsen resigned here, as there is no way to stop black from promoting his pawn or checkmating white. What a stunning game by Firouzja, who showed incredible courage, creativity, and calculation to defeat the world champion. This was one of the biggest upsets in chess history, and a sign of things to come for the young star.